Hey everyone, this is Chris Jacob, an F1 in Schools alumni of 2017, and you're listening to the Yas in Schools podcast. Today with me, I don't actually have an alumni, but soon to be, I hope.
We'll see about that.
But today with me, I've got Raphael. Raphael is with Hermes Racing and will be representing the UAE for the 2024 World Finals. So you're the design engineer of Hermes Racing, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, Raphael, could you introduce yourself for everyone listening?
So, hi, my name is Raphael Brice. I am 17 years old. I attend Raha International School and I'm the design engineer for Hermes Racing, who will be representing the UAE at the 2024 F1 in Schools World Finals.
Beautiful. So, Raphael, before we start off, I just want to get into, I like to pick everyone's brains about how they started with F1 in Schools, why they're here, what are they doing, right? And so, first of all, I want to start off with, how did you even come to be a part of F1 in Schools?
Well, I think I have to give some credit to my design teachers who started the program at my school back in 2022.
Okay.
So without them, I would not be here.
Okay.
Yeah, but even before that, I always knew that I was interested in engineering. When I was 6 years old, I wanted to design planes, commercial aircraft. And then I had a grade 8 design project where we needed to learn to use CAD by designing a Formula One car. So that allowed me to really explore what CAD was and what you could do with it. And to be honest, initially I absolutely hated it.
Okay.
But I think
Understandable.
I think everyone goes through that stage. Once you understand how it works, though, I was hooked. I absolutely loved it. Like just drawing. Initially it was planes, but then also F1 cars.
Beautiful.
And not only F1 cars, also F1 schools cars.
F1 in Schools cars, that's where we come to, right?
That's where we come
That's
to.
beautiful. But, okay, two questions.
Yeah.
First one, preferred software, Fusion or SolidWorks or Inventor?
Okay, so I started with Onshape.
Wow, okay.
I don't think you've heard of it.
I have heard of it.
Heard of
I
it.
just
Okay.
haven't used it.
It's they don't have a large market. Yeah, it's a cloud-based CAD software, and the reason is because the school had access to it. They managed to have a partnership with Onshape where
Beautiful.
us as students didn't have to pay. If we logged in with our school accounts, we could get access to it. So I started off with Onshape. But then as I progressed through F1 in Schools to now being a Worlds team, I started to see some of the limitations, notably with like lofting or fillets, all of that. It's getting a lot of error messages. The second geometries would be getting a bit complex. It's a bit limiting. And also, now that I'm in a Worlds team, F1 in Schools is a much bigger part of my life.
Yeah.
Meaning I need to be able to work on F1 wherever I am. And Onshape, being a cloud-based software, you need internet connection. And when you're, for example, in a plane at 40,000 feet, not really a possibility.
So you've worked on your car at 40,000 feet?
I have.
Fantastic. Okay. I like where this is going.
So I was just asking people what softwares they were using. And so they were like, oh, I use AutoCAD, I use this, I use that. But I use a Mac. So already that limits a lot of options.
I understand.
But one of the options that stood out that constantly had good feedback and that could run on Mac was Fusion 360.
Yeah.
So I decided to give that a shot. And I had a learning curve of a few weeks, I do have to say.
It is a big number.
Yeah, it is a learning curve. Just understanding how it works. Like, just the simple things. In Onshape, when you draw a line, first you click to end the line, then you enter the dimension of the line. On Fusion, you enter the dimensions and then it scales. Yeah. So just the small details like that, just to get you going.
But Fusion for now?
Fusion for now, I can't lie.
Okay, I will tell you this. I personally love Fusion compared to SolidWorks.
Yeah.
You stick with Fusion. But second question, before we move any further, have you seen Disney movies?
I don't watch a lot of movies, but I have watched some Disney movies.
Okay.
So.
Planes versus cars.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're asking me to pick.
Yes.
So Cars has more than one. It's like a trilogy.
Of course.
Um,
Because it's the best. But continue.
I have to say, probably Cars.
Okay, that's good. Now we can continue with the podcast. Okay.
Okay.
So, good answer. Good answer. Anyways, so what we were coming to is the fact that Raphael, you started this endeavor, if you will, when you were 6 years old. You said that you initially wanted to design planes, and now you want to design cars, right? And this last year, coming to the World Finals, right? That whole journey has been in and of itself an adventure, right?
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you is how has F1 in schools impacted your current lifestyle, if you will, right? If you're if you're working on your car at 40,000 feet, what has F1 in schools done to you to get to that point, or hopefully done for you? But
well, I think first it takes quite a big load on my computer because whenever I turn on my computer, like there's always Fusion on there. It's always open.
Right.
So it has filled a gap which before joining F1 in schools I didn't really know I had. Just a passion for something. Just constantly having something that you're looking forward to doing. Like if you need to maybe not take a break because I mean you're still working, but for me it is because when you're passionate, when you're working on something that you love, it's a break.
Working,
you don't count your hours.
Yeah.
It has given me a authentic feel to what I want to do in the future.
Wow.
Just working as a team, contacting people, sponsors, testing different software, simulation software. When we talk about computational fluid dynamics or finite element analysis, all that stuff I've had some experience with, which I think is amazing. When I talk to some university graduates and I tell them that F1 in schools involves using these advanced simulation software and CAD software at high school, they lose their job.
Yeah. I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I think this is one of the first times I've heard. I know this has happened a lot, but this is the first time I've heard a student in the program talk about how it's filled that void or filled that gap and given him that passion or solidified that passion. So I love that for you. And honestly, that's essentially what's happening right now is if you go to any university graduate, like I just graduated university, okay? So with us, we're using finite element analysis, right? We're using ANSYS simulations, we're doing this, we're doing that. I did all of this when I was in high school. And so when I talk to my peers and when I tell them, hey, yeah, I've done this 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they're like, what? We're just learning about this now, And so I really think it's definitely going to give you an edge, right? And I love that you're going into engineering. Do you know what kind of engineering yet?
So my dream would be to design Formula One cars.
Okay.
So
automotive
motorsport engineering.
Okay.
However, I know that Formula One is a super competitive sport.
Okay.
And so if that doesn't work out, automotive or aerospace are my two choices.
Okay. So if there's any recruiters out there listening right now, right, from any university, if you'd like to have this young gentleman at your university, all you've got to do is give him a few scholarships, right? But motorsport engineering, he's yours if you give him a few scholarships, right? That's all you have to do. But I will tell you this, F1 in schools, individuals, a lot of the times are driven, passionate, and this is one example of that. And I love that for you, Raphael, how that, again, when you said passion, I'm just thinking as a 17-year-old, discovering your passion is an interesting concept. Like just being able to say, hey, I know what I want to do with my life. It might change and that's completely okay. Yeah. But having a starting point, beautiful. I love that. So now that you've discovered your passion, right? Now that you know where you want to go, what you want to do, what does this next year look like? Because you still have to graduate high school. But also you have to represent Team UAE
Yeah.
right? Hermes Racing on the world stage in
Yeah.
2024 World Final. So what does that look like for you? Are you excited? Are you nervous? What's going on?
Both, actually. I am very excited to see the level of the competition because it is the most prestigious STEM competition in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's the World Finals. We're not talking about anything here. I am super excited to represent the UAE. I'm super excited to represent Hermes. But at the same time, there's obviously this slight, like, anxiety. Maybe not anxiety, but it's just unknown. Like, I have been to the national finals, but I've never been to something this big.
Yeah.
Like, there's the pressure of, like, you need to perform. This is the Worlds. Like, you can't mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, having fun. Like, we're all in here for one reason, and that's to have fun. So, yeah.
Amazing. I will tell you this, Raphael. Just a little piece of advice from from my side. Being a world finalist and going to the world finals in 2017, all of that will fall into place. All right, at the right time. If I think the first and foremost thing is to get your team working as a team. Once you do that, everything else falls into place. You know, at the end of the day, what you're there to do is to go and have fun.
Yeah.
The best stories I hear are from, you know, a competition, right?
Yeah.
When you go as a team, you go. I don't know if your parents are going with you. Maybe it's just your teacher. However, it might be.
I have not
right?
talked about that
We have
yet.
not talked about that yet, so we'll see how that goes. But as a group of friends, right, going to a world finals competition and acing it there, no matter if you're winning or losing, right, you're doing your best. That is what matters. And so all I would say is have fun there, right? So now that we know what you're doing for this next year, what's your plan for the future?
So, after F1 in schools?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so after F1 in schools, well, I know I want to work in the engineering side of things, whether that is to design commercial aircraft, cars, racing cars. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't have a crystal ball.
Okay.
But if I could live the dream, it would be to design Formula One cars.
Design Formula One cars. Okay, great. So this is Raphael Brice. He is the design engineer for Team Hermes Racing, the UAE representatives of the world finalists for the 2024 F1 in Schools World Finals. Raphael, I want to come back and check in with you in 6 months, right? After the World Finals, see how things are going. But I also want to check in with you maybe a few years down the line, right? If you're working at Ferrari, Mercedes, AMG, if you're working at Red Bull, if you're working at any one of those places, if you'd like to give me a free pass, right? If you'd like to give me a tour, if you'd like me to meet some of your friends, I'd be willing to. Like, I wouldn't mind, But Raphael, thank you so much for coming in and for giving this time. I think the last thing we want to talk about is, what do you have to tell to students who might have been in your shoes, to students who don't know what they want to do yet, who might have that void, right? Who might not know what their passion is, or still lingering on that concept? What do you think you want to tell them?
First of all, it's not a big deal to not know what you want to do yet. Like, it's an exception to know exactly what you want to do. So I would say just go out and try things, just as Hermes as a team, or every single F1 in schools team has done. They just design something. You don't know how it's going to work, so you just try it. You put it on track, you see how it does. Just like we do that, go try stuff. If you're maybe interested in like medical stuff, the medical side of things, just try like having an internship somewhere, or just experience the world, try different things. And of course, make sure to have fun.
Make sure to have fun. I love that. Okay. He ended it with make sure to have fun. So I think that's a wrap for the Us in Schools podcast. Thank you so much, Raphael, for being here with us.
Thank you for
Make sure to have fun. Right? Thank you so much. And we will see what Raphael and his team does for the World Finals, right? No pressure whatsoever,
No,
right?
absolutely
You
not.
guys are doing great, but we'll see what we'll do for the World Finals. I want to see you, maybe a Ferrari, Red Bull, right? Don't forget the
Hopefully.
free pass,
Hopefully.
right? Just because you know
Yeah.
me, we're friends.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for everyone listening, and we will see you again. Remember that the idea is to have fun. All right. Thank you so much.
See you guys.